A young fella.
Hello.
You're doing this mustache thing.
Yeah, Movember.
You're doing Movember. Well, so are myself and Paddy Fong.
Hey, very good. Well, Fong already has one, doesn't he?
Well, that's what I said to him. Paddy, you already have a mustache. And he said, that's exactly what they're looking for.
And has he much money collected?
Money? Is that what you're collecting?
Yeah. What?
We're collecting scrap.
What do you mean?
Scrap metal.
Why? It's money.
Donate your old radiator to a man who has a mustache since he played Friar Tuck in the school play age 7.
Was he good at playing Friar Tuck?
Well, he wasn't around half the time. He wasn't around. And it was a terror after he grown the tash especially.
Yeah.
Now, there is no evidence to suggest that Friar Tuck would have had a mustache.
I'm just thinking that.
That's how Fong played him. On the edge. That's how Fong played Friar Tuck.
Oh.
On the edge. But it was fine because if he ever forgot his lines, he would just shout, "What up? What up?" So Maid Marian and what's his name? Prince John.
Prince John, yeah.
Would be there. And Prince John would say, "Isn't that right, Friar Tuck?" And Friar Fong would say, "What up? What up?" And then there was a wedding scene. Then Robin Hood and Maid Marian were getting married.
Yeah.
And he couldn't think of saying, "I now pronounce you man and wife." So he just said, "She would if she got it." Crowd went wild.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Went wild.
Oh, God.
And Mossy Hackett is doing no work November. Started July 74. Well, tell you the weekend, we ended up out in the crossbar.
What?
We had to leave town.
Why?
They issued a Boyle notice.
Over the water, yeah?
No, like Jerry Boyle was in town. God forgive me, that fucker. He was down at the castle one day talking to ducks, and the duck turned round and said, "You can shoot me now, Noel."
Is he an awful fella, this Jerry Boyle?
He'd wither you. And I will shoot those ducks.
Yeah, I know.
And Tidy Town think those ducks can just fly over my house. Somebody's got to pay the piper. As my brother, the pipe fitter, says. He came in the door of the pub anyway. Boyle, right? And 'twas like we'd lost in All Ireland. Everyone looked around at the same time and went, "Oh, fuck. Not this creature." And of course, he came straight over to me.
Oh, God.
Now, I wasn't in with you last week because I fell off the roof of the bridge bar, but I'll get back to that.
Okay.
And he came up to me then. "Well, Noel, did you recover from your fall?" I said, "No, Boyle, I actually died." Now, I'm surprised our 2 hands and 40 courts let him in.
Yeah.
Do you know that how lad he'd be at the door of the cross? He owns the cross bar and he had 2 hands and 40 courts. Because he's always like, give me your coat. And he takes everyone's coat.
Yeah. And
he never gives them back. I'm wise to him now, I don't give him the coat, but I lost several coats off him.
the human cloakroom.
So, yeah, he sits at the door and he don't ask for the COVID, the cert.
All right.
You're supposed to, right? But he says he can tell by looking at someone whether or not they have the virus.
Right. The
virus, right? So he sits at the front door and he kind of scowls at him, right? And then he'd say, "Go on. Go on." And he'd be looking at him like this and he'd say, "Go on." Right? And they said, "Do you want the temperature going?" The thermometer.
Yeah.
Check people's temperature. And he said, "No way." He looks him dead in the eye. That's the key.
Right.
That's the key if you want to know if they have the virus.
Yeah.
He looks him dead in the eye. And he just looks at him and says, "Go on." Go on.
Has he ever turned anyone away?
Never. Never. But you know what? He's never had a COVID.
Go away.
in the pub. That's a fact.
Shanny, Mac.
Now, plenty of people have got it afterwards.
Right.
But he's never had a COVID in the pub.
Right.
Did you ever see one there?
No, not right.
You never saw COVID in the crossbar, did you?
No.
There you go. Because he knows who have the virus. And John Paul didn't get the vaccine at all.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Ah, that's scandalous.
I'm sure I got to load him. But I...
You get his as well?
I got his as well, yeah. They gave me the booster. I said, "Sure, what's one more?" This stage now. But I said to him, how is it you can just tip in the road and get it at the time they're doing them in the chemist lab?
Yeah.
Niall is doing them. And he said, I haven't time, lad. And I said, oh, you haven't time. It's just that I heard you giving 2 hours pulling the stones off yourself last night. You were listening to WAP.
WAP.
That's all. WAP, WAP, WAP. I could hear it coming through the wall and I'm trying to train a fucking dog. Now when the dog hears WAP, he lies down and rolls over. But John Paul said to us the music video he was watching.
Right.
Well, what's in the music video? Says I. Well, he put on the music video. What she didn't do to that poor snake. I'll tell you that now. The ISPCA want to be called. And she had her bosoms on show.
Yeah.
And she had a yoke on the end of them. They were like the suction cups of a milking machine. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like the vacuum pump cluster, like this. Well, fellas are into awful stuff now, I'll tell you. Hadn't time. Now, in local news, there was a bit of an incident.
Oh, right.
There was a bit of an incident down the town. And I'm sorry to talk to you about it now. But
Oh, God.
So, look, on a side note, now, I've taken over as Dan Bryan's touring manager.
How did this come about?
Well, they're difficult times, and he said he needed a steady pair of hands.
Right.
Now, obviously, I know nothing about the music business, but I do have steady hands.
Yeah, you do.
So the government restrictions are hampering the new tour.
Right.
The Taoiseach says all the shows have to be finished by 12. Yeah?
Yeah.
And he's also after putting the price of tickets up.
Is he?
I'd say he
I
did.
don't think he did.
Well, they're gone up anyway. Let's not split hairs. So I had the van. I had the Dan van. Right? So I was delighted going around in the Dan van.
Yeah.
And I said I'd pick the granddaughter up from school. She'd love the van.
Yeah.
Well, she's turning 16 now. She'd love the van. So I said, what were you doing in school today? And she said, Granddad, I was doing sex ed.
Right.
Now, I know Sexy Edmund. And he's too old for you, I said. There'll be no Sexy Ed round here. And she said it was in the classroom. I nearly got sick.
Oh,
When she said the teacher was there, I got the fucking shotgun. I'd have it with me in the van. And you'd be surprised how often you'd have used for it if you had it. Well, I went into the principal's office. And I grabbed him and I said, where's Sexy Ed? And he played dumb at first. He didn't want to tell me. They were thick as thieves. Bastards. They didn't want to say a word about it. Oh, I didn't know what you're talking about, they all said.
Oh, jeez.
But I got it out of him. I roughed him up.
Did you?
I got it out of him. He brought me down to the classroom. And there was a big sticker on the door. Sex Ed. Written on the door. And when I opened up the room, it was full of children. And I thought, you dirty bastard. You fuck. You dirty article. Bastard. But there was a female teacher at the blackboard. I said, where's sex ed? I said, look, woman, where is sex ed? And she said, she's doing sex ed. And I said, oh, not you too. Is he riding everyone in this town? I know he's handsome, but for God's sake.
Oh, God.
Well, then I saw a book on the table titled Sexual Education.
Oh, yeah. Did it dawn on you then?
Well, the penny, I'd be quick like that. The penny dropped. But I couldn't embarrass myself then. I was after going so far.
You had to go through it.
And I had the shotgun under my arm. I just shouted, "You're all on thin ice." And I backed away. But I would just like to take this opportunity to clear the good name of Sexy Edmund, who has always been a model citizen around this parish, especially back in the boogie days, when his in the late 70s, when his white suit was the highlight of the town.
Okay, good.
So sorry about that incident that took place during town. An unknown assailant in the school.
Thanks.
Oh, but I was on the roof of the Bridge Bar.
Yeah, what happened? How'd you fall off?
Well, I told Susan at the Bridge Bar, after a few pints, of course, I'd erect the decorations for her. I'd be tasty like that for Christmas. And I might have promised her that I had Santa Claus and 12 life-size reindeer available for the roof.
Right.
But what I had in the shed was an advertisement Patsy made up for a GAA race night many a year ago. So when she came out and seen 6 jockeys on horseback galloping across the ridge tiles, she says, where's Santy? And I said to her, well, I couldn't get Santy, but I tell you, Ruby Walsh is fucking flying it up there. They'll think there's leper sound you're giving up for.
And you fell off?
She fucked a can at me, yeah. So I can't say it.
You can't do nothing, no?
After I got paid.
We'll see you next week.
So if anyone has a Santy we'd like to add to the 6 jockeys, let me know.
Thanks.
Good luck.